Whatever you do, don't pull his finger.
Spiky Bits.
Welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. I'm Baer from SpikyBits.com, and we got the thrice risen Lord of Death. Well, I guess second. I guess twosies. So he started out as Callisterius, then he was just plain old Mephiston, Lord of Death, and now he's Primaris Mephiston, crossing the Rubicon Straits, going across that river and doing his thing. And now here he is. So this is $40 US. You can, of course, pick up your Warhams for less at Miniature Market or DiceHeadGames.com. Make sure you check them out. There's a links in the description and the comments below. So here he is, kind of some of the details. Now he has those two different poses. Of course, you can get his, stuffy nose pose, or you can get his Primaris plasma pistol pose right there, and it might be easy to magnetize that, except for the problem is that then you're going to have the shoulder pad that they only give you one shoulder pad, I'm sure. I don't know, but I would assume so. It doesn't sound like there's a plastic little tray in here. Nope, just one big fat sprue, an instruction manual, and the base that he comes on looks like a 40 mil base right there. Let's just jump right into it since we got you here, and it looks like it's good lighting. So here's the computer slices. It looks like you're gonna have a front and a back, but then his cape is all kind of sliced up. This is really weird because this slice goes actually inside of his cape, his dress. Pretty Mephiston's dress right there, but that's okay. And it looks like his leg attaches here, and then he kind of clamshell the back of his robe onto here, and then the book precariously attaches in there somewhere. I don't know. That's going to be an adventure to try to figure that one out. Then the back, his actual cape and not his pretty little dress, is going to attach here, and somehow it interfaces with this book right here that I hope it's obvious how these parts kind of line up, because they just kind of look like they're just like, hey, put it here, but it's never quite that simple, I suppose. And then there's the different arm options. You can get the stuffy nose so he can rest psychic medicine, or you can get the plasma pistol action right here, and then he's got his little belt with his syringes and things, because every psyker needs some syringes of blood and all sorts of different things for his stuffy nose. And this rando psychic cable, it looks like it goes in his armpit area here. So this is gonna be a source of frustration. I can already tell looking at this, like how all these things are supposed to line up perfect, and rarely that happens. So I'm hoping that it's very easy to do, but we'll check that out here in a second. And there's Sword of Viteris, and the base here glues down, and then it looks like he doesn't have a foot. He only has actually one foot, and then this is probably hollow underneath, and then it just kind of goes in that little slice area right there. It just kind of goes in a little slot. Okay, cool. Well, I mean, it's only crazy if it doesn't work, and that's it. Boom. There's the stats, which you've probably already seen from the Blood Ball. Let's take a look at the sprue. Just keep plugging through all of this right here. Let's check the lighting. Hey, lighting's good. I love it. So here's the sprue itself, and yeah, this is the character size sprue, only one of them, and you can already tell, yeah, he's definitely Primaris size, because that is a big chungo right there. And then look at that cape. Well, I guess because it kind of flows to the side, right? But geez. And then there's that missing piece of his pretty little dress, which I guess is going to go in there. And then somehow we're going to attach that book to the assembly. And the leg, I don't even know what's going on right now. That's going to be precarious at best, but we'll try to get it down. Now, the one thing I noticed too is all the mold lines are going to be on this plane right here, which looks like it's going to go straight down the leg. On the sides here, which isn't that bad, but there's going to be some gapping, I think, in the cape. And then if you look at the sword, all down the side of the Power Sword of Viteris, on the cable, on the arm, the shoulder pads might not be that bad. The plasma pistol and the arm extension, and then of course, well, pretty much always we're used to trimming backpacks right there like that. So those are the areas to kind of keep a close eye on for your flash. I'll get this clip down and we'll get it built up and see exactly what the gotchas are and how bad it is, if it is even bad at all. So fast forward about 30 to 40 minutes later, and we have Mephiston. Now, I'll be honest with you, it wasn't the easiest, but it wasn't the worst. It was pretty much about an average build, I think. The areas that we were concerned about, that I kind of talked about, mentioned like up around this book, and I actually didn't glue them down because I figured if I'm going to paint them, we might do like some really cool styling and then put some pumice down and So I just kind of tacked him into there. But as you can see, he doesn't have the foot. It is hollow under there, and then it just kind of slots in, kind of like I suspected there a few minutes ago, or a few seconds ago on this video, but a few minutes ago for me here in IRLs. Oh no, where's this? Uh-oh. Well, I lost one of his pieces, so we're gonna have to figure out what that is. But his little cable, so his little syringes and stuff, his dirty syringes go in here, but it is a very, very, very fiddly bit, and I'm sure I just knocked it off and didn't even realize it. I probably threw it in the trash, but such is life, I suppose. Well, I'm gonna go look for that. Well, the search for Mephiston's dirty syringes was unsuccessful, but I did find some dried cat barf, and I also woke up a cat as well. So it's always an adventure around here, one way or the other, I suppose. So what I'm gonna end up doing now, since I can't seem to find that bit, is I'm gonna use a little bit of Vallejo plastic putty to fill in that spot right there, and maybe a little over here, and just kind of smooth this out and make it into its cape. Because once I started looking at this, I was like, you know what, I don't even think it looks that bad without the syringes. So, well, you know, just be careful with your parts, I suppose. It was so small and so fiddly, I either glued it on and knocked it off, or I never even got it on there because I knocked it off and it's all over the floor somewhere. But maybe, you know, in a couple of days I'll find it. Either way, we got him together. The rest of him is here and intact. And, you know, some of the stuff I was talking about, like underneath here, this little slice of cabling, that was really interesting. This whole build right here. So there's like one particular way, and you might want to pause this if you're putting yours together so you can kind of see how I did it. But that's the best way that the boot or the book kind of fits in there. And then the leg as well is also kind of precarious. It's not super obvious which way it goes in. You can kind of get it from the instructions, but it's kind of touch and go. You definitely want to dry fit, you know, fit it twice, glue it once, so it doesn't pop off or give you any trouble. And then over here you can kind of see where some of the gapping and everything's going to be, but it's kind of hidden, it's kind of under here. But if you use some of the thin down glue, you can get up from underneath the robe right here if you don't glue this guy down, and then what it'll do is seal it up from underneath here, and then you can just use your X-Acto blade once it's all dry to kind of scrape it off and make it solid. Up here, you could assemble him with a magnet inside. There is room to do that, and then you could put another magnet in this arm if you wanted to, because there's the two different arm versions, the one where he's you know, blowing his nose, or he's got a stuffy nose, and the one with a plasma pistol. But at the end of the day, it might be just too much work. Just kind of pick one and go with it, I suppose. If you're going to show off his face, maybe you just want to show off his face. I don't know. But you will not have more than one of these shoulder pads here. So you'll have to either tack that on or come up with another creative solution for that right there. Backpack, no issues. Shoulder pads, no issues, other than the fact that you only get one of each. And you may want two of each for this arm over here. The head locks in the back. And pretty much everything else, as long as you don't lose your parts, should go right together very easily, believe it or not. So I'm gonna slap him back on here and kind of show you how he goes together, which I don't, because he goes on the other way. But you can see right there where his foot just kind of slots in right over top of that. And he is definitely Primaris size, because there's a 40 mil base. And you can kind of see, let me grab our Primaris intercessor right here. So he is a little bit taller because he is kind of on that rock and stuff, maybe not too much taller than a normal intercessor. And then as far as his Primaris brothers out there, there's how he kind of sizes up with everybody here. There's Agrax, Earthshade, Fieros, got Fieros right here, looking a little bit chonkier, but not too bad. He definitely fits in there. One of my favorite, most dynamic models of all time, the Primaris Lieutenant, looking fresh. And, well, he's going to be a little bit smaller because the Shrike is standing in his victory pose right there. But definitely lines up well, and I think they might get another 10, 15, 20 years out of this sculpt right here, because it is pretty badass. And like I said, as long as you don't lose your parts, well, it goes together pretty well, and there's very minimal work. Just a little bit of dry fitting. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching our unboxing and build of the new Primaris Mephiston from 2019. Been about 20 years, but he's here and he's hot and fresh right now. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can be the very first to like and comment on all our videos.